actually, in the last 30 days, I've made a little bit over 380. And in my first half of 2022, I've made $1,015,000.
All right, so I am so excited because today I have America here. And America, can you tell us just like where you're located and how long you've been in real estate investing?
Yeah, absolutely. I am here in Glendale, South Carolina, and I just recently started investing, actually. It's been less than 2 years as an investor. I started as a real estate agent. Well, let me go back further.
Do it.
When I got out of high school, I was 14 years old. Somebody asked me to translate some documents for a real estate transaction. My English was terrible back then. It's still not the best, but
I think it's great.
Thanks. Somehow I ended up translating a closing for somebody that worked at Exit Realty. So that was my first step into real estate. I was 14 years old. During high school, I would work part-time translating for other agents and lenders. By the time I was 18, I found myself getting my license as a loan originator. So I have been in real estate my entire life. But just because I was in real estate doesn't mean that I knew a lot. I just knew how to translate and make some transactions happen, but I didn't know how to build wealth. Okay, I actually just learned that a few years ago. I hired a mentor that completely changed my life, and that is Ryan Serhant right there. There's his book.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he is awesome. And I have been in real estate selling real estate since 2015. When I started the mentorship with Ryan, everything exploded. I started making bigger deals. I saw my first six-figure deal under the mentorship of Ryan. This year, I've been on the top in my Keller Williams office. I'm still a licensed realtor. And in the whole region, I have been in the top. And I have been in the top for the last 2-3 years. So, yeah.
Oh my gosh, congratulations. That's huge.
Thank you. Thanks.
And I also love seeing there's not a lot of females, I feel like, in this space. So like I'm really excited to have you on to talk about your success and like talk about how it started and how it went. So like right now with your investing in the last what's been going on in the last 2 years then for you?
The last 2 years, I met my best client. He was also the most challenging client that I ever had. I love them. Him and his wife, I love them. But there was a moment in my career that I felt that I needed to fire him. Because he was asking me for way more stuff than any other client ever asked me. But I knew that I wanted to prove myself to him. And I knew that I had a huge opportunity working for him. And he's also so sweet. There was no way for me to say no. Like, I never had a client that asked me for staging. I never had a client that would tell me, America, I'm building these houses and I want you to select everything. So basically design these homes for me.
Oh, wow.
So that was very time consuming. And he was also the client that wanted to pay me less than anybody else. Right? Yeah, I know.
No.
It turned out to be the best thing that I ever did because he became my private lender.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, talk about that. How'd that start rolling?
Okay, so I did my first investment by myself without private money, and he saw that. He saw that I was willing to risk my own money, right? And he said, America, how about I lend you money and you just pay me back 8%? So you can do more projects like this. He said, I'm basically done. I want to retire. I want you to be successful and I want to help you. You've done a lot for me. And what do you think about this offer? I'll basically lend you $500,000 and you just give me back 10% in 12 months. I was like, oh my God.
I was just about to say this, just like he just brings this up though after seeing this. You didn't like actually ask him. He's just like, hey.
Yes. Yeah, he's the one that offered it.
That had to be so mind-blowing.
Yeah, it was. But actually, this is very recent. This was last year around October.
Okay. Wow, that is really recent.
Yes, and that was basically when we started changing our entire system. That was the first time that somewhere last year was the first time that I heard about you guys.
Okay.
Through another guy that I saw on TikTok, Mr. Cruz.
Nice.
Yes, so he has this mentorship program. It was like $5,000 a few months ago. I was like, you know what? He seems legit. He's building all this wealth. He has a lot of rental properties. I'm gonna pay him the $5,000 that he wants, and I'll see what's going on. I did learn a lot from him too. And I'm also investing in multifamily dwellings. Right now, I have a project that is currently under contract and it's 14 doors.
Whoa.
Yes. I'm not going to own all of them. I did put it under contract under my license, and I'm getting 6 duplexes. And my colleagues are getting the rest. And we have just a lot of other projects too. Right now, I have 8 under construction that are my own, and I have 2 that are under contract. I closed one yesterday. I made another big check yesterday too.
Yes.
In the last 30 days, I've made a little bit over 380, and in my first half of 2022, I've made $1,015,000.
Oh my gosh, America, if I could well, hold on. Yes. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I want to just like throw confetti at you or something.
Thank you.
That has to feel so good. Like, so where did, I know you said that you heard about, how has DealMachine played into that, or how do you guys utilize that now, I guess?
So I asked a friend of mine that I've met years ago. I had actually been asking her for 5 years to get her license. And last year, when I got my membership with DealMachine, I called her up and I said, hey, don't worry about your license. Why don't you do the driving for dollars? We'll partner. We'll go 50-50 on the deals that we find. And that way you don't have to worry about getting your license. I'll help you getting your license later on. But let's do this together because I can't do it on my own. And so she joined me. We work together and we're partners. One thing that I learned in my career is that if you want somebody to give 100% plus to your vision, you have to share the vision with them. Mm-hmm. So if it's not going to be, if you need somebody in the office 9 to 5 to do paperwork, then that's different. But if you want somebody to hustle and go hunt, you got to share that profit with them. That's just in my opinion. So we opened up an LLC, and she's partner. We're partners. Her name is Catalina Jurado, and we started seeing a lot more money flipping land and finding deals for our portfolio of clients that I already had, because I was already working with investors. So it was just easier for us, especially in this crazy market where you can't find a deal that's already listed in the MLS. It's a lot easier and a lot better for the people that we work with to find them deals that is outside of the MLS, off the market completely. And we ended up finding deals for ourselves that are just insane. I bought just some land recently. I got a package of 5 lots. I paid, I think, a little bit less than $20K per lot. And I resell each lot for $20K. Right?
I have not seen a lot that cheap anywhere.
I got lucky, I think.
Well, girl, you worked it, because my gosh, that is amazing.
That was a great deal. That was a great deal.
Do you guys use, so for DealMachine, do you guys then use just looking for vacant land when you're driving for dollars?
We mainly look for land, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm really intrigued by that, because so many people ask about, land. I feel like land is starting to be more of a hot, because we have the housing shortage, so people want to build, and so land is what we want, right? So what is your strategy with that then when you guys go driving for dollars?
She drives, she finds the deals, we send them the postcards that you guys offer is so amazing, because you're saving us a lot of work. I used to do it manually. I used to before I heard about you guys, I was basically just pitching for sell by owners and expired listings, and we used to send them handwritten letters. We used to send them, everything manually, and that was a lot of work. That was just way too much work. Now, you only heard about my one client that became my private lender, but I worked with 3 other builders before. Okay. And one of them was very toxic. He was in a toxic relationship. You said it. It's not easy being a woman. And his wife or girlfriend, whatever, started sending me crazy messages. So I released everything that I had with him. I sent him the release for all the contracts, and I said, "I'm sorry. I don't want to involve. I don't want to be involved in this drama." So that was one that ended. And then I had 2 other builders that things didn't work out so well, but I learned so much for them. And one of them taught me how to search for land, because he wanted me to find big deals for him to build communities, right? So I was doing that for him, and I just learned the criteria. I learned exactly what they wanted to find in a piece of land so that it would be a profitable deal. And so I just applied that criteria to the searches that we do in DealMachine. We create the routes, and then Catalina goes finds these deals, and it just comes naturally then.
I'm sure. I mean, I used to do handwritten stuff too. The fact that you're not having to remind yourself to follow up to and stuff like that. Sure, you're like, oh, thank God, my hand's taking a rest. You can just send and boom. How many, do you guys have a picture of the both of you on the front of it, or what is your strategy with your marketing?
Well, so far we have used my photo. My name is Google friendly, and so far that helps. Mm-hmm. So we actually added comments in the postcard that you can look up my name. My name is Google friendly. That way we build credibility. But I do plan on adding Catalina in the postcards.
I love that. How many I love that you like literally tell them, check me out, see that I'm legit. Like, here we are. Um, and you have already the picture of yourself so they can like compare it to what they're looking for. And they're like, oh, she is legit. I should call her to sell my house. How many postcards do you guys usually send?
I think I lost track. I do keep the every 21 days campaign.
Okay.
And I think we just keep adding leads to the platform. So I don't really know.
That's
She
fair. I mean, I would
basically
just continually send it and just wait until they like say, take me off your list, or hey, I want to sell my house.
right. So basically, she does all the deal findings, and I close the deals. I barely ever look at the system. I just sign the contracts. He's the one that really manages the entire platform.
That's so good to know, though, that like I feel like successful partnerships work that way, though. You have your strengths, she has her strengths, and
Mhm.
you guys kind of balance each other out. What would you, I always ask this question of partners. If someone is hesitant of getting into a partnership, do you have any like advice for that, or things to kind of just like make sure you iron out before you go into a partnership with somebody?
There has to be a lot of trust, and the trust has to be mutual. The
Okay.
compromise needs to be equal. You cannot have one person more compromised than the other. And I would say the good thing about a partnership like this is you don't have much to lose. It's not like you're investing thousands of dollars to work on a project. Now, for me to tell you that all my partnerships have been successful, no, I learned the hard way. Um, I had a bad partner. He lied to me. The first deal was so stressful that I started growing gray hair. You see all this gray hair? Is that
No.
guy? um, but I'm so glad that he made me go through all that stress. Thanks to him, I'm getting my builder's license now because he was my builder. He was my first builder, and he was a ripoff and he was a fraud. But I needed that. I needed to know what a bad partner was. I needed to get somebody caught stealing so that I knew you better want to you want to put cameras in your projects as an investor. So we do that now. We
Okay.
make sure our contracts are legally binding. We have our attorneys review the contracts. Now I have actually 5 attorneys. I have a real estate expert, an attorney that only does real estate transactions. I have a business attorney. I have an insurance attorney. Okay. I have the estate attorney. So in case, a business that I have, in case something happens to me, you need to make sure that you have everything planned for for my family.
Right, right.
And yes. And then I have the taxes attorney.
Oh, my gosh, you got just like, you're like prepared. You are
Yes,
ready. You are ready to go. It sounds like you've learned a lot to where you're just like, you have to just dive in and learn.
yes. So one thing that changed the way we invest, and I think everybody should do that, is we keep everything documented. Like these are the books for our projects, right?
Uh-huh.
And each book you make notes every day, or somebody makes notes for you. We also keep everything documented on the computer, every phase of the projects, and we do that. We do that as well with the leads because you want to follow up with them. And again, you guys make it so easy because you automate did postcards, and I have had people that just show up into my office with the postcard in their hands. They're like, "I got this in the mail. I didn't know if it was real, so I wanted to come to the office. I want to sell my property."
And they're right there. You're just like, well, the proof is in the pudding right here. They're literally giving me my marketing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I mean, that's pretty much a golden scenario. They literally show up to you
Yes.
at your office. That's amazing. Oh, America, I'm so excited for you because this was like, thank you for sharing this today because I love hearing how you've grown with it. And girl, you're on fire. So what are the goals for I mean, you're already knocking out a ton of goals, I feel like, for 2022, but what does the 22 look like for you?
22 so far with the projects that I have in my pipeline, not considering the projects that will continue to add on to the pipeline. I'm estimating to close with 2.3 million.
Girl, throwing all the confetti at you. You better go on a really great vacation somewhere.
I actually just bought myself a house in Cancun, in Playa del Carmen, and I am purchasing 5 more homes in Mexico and a penthouse. I'm in the process of doing that.
Girl, I mean, if you ever want to like have a friend to go with you, you just give me a call. I'll come with. It's no problem. I need to come to South Carolina because there definitely are a lot of great investors out there.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of people moving in. I believe we are in the top 2 cities people are moving to. So there's a lot of areas that are being gentrified right now. So many projects coming up, and we're going after them. We're going after the land and the properties that we want to make better.
I love that. Oh, good. Well, thank you so much for doing this.